Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hot Lunch eBay shop. I'm sitting here right in front of my photo booth, and tonight I'm going to be packing up, I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe 5 or 6 orders. I'm not exactly sure how many orders are going out tonight, but I'm going to pack those up in a little bit, and then I'm going to buy shipping labels for those, and then I'll know exactly how much profit each of these items made and how much money we'll have made for the whole day. So I'll tell you all of that stuff at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a lot of new items that are going to be hitting my eBay shop in the next couple of days. Hopefully most of them will be up by the time this video is live. So the vast majority of this stuff came to me since last weekend. There's some things that I picked up last weekend that I'm just finally finishing up. Today is Friday, so I don't like to have stuff that's sitting here for more than a week without getting listed. That's like kind of my rule of thumb right now, even though I do have a lot of other older items that are just languishing, waiting for me to get to listing them. But I'm trying my best to bring things home, get them listed as quickly as possible. So I have some stuff, like I said, from garage sales and a church rummage sale last week. Then some things from there's my little lunch break thrift store that I go to usually on Thursdays. I have some The first things I'm going to show you are all from there. And then I have things that I just picked up this morning at garage sales. I was not planning on going out to any sales, but when I was walking my dog Pineapple this morning, I just saw the sign and there was like three or four sales all in one block. So I went to all of those sales and I picked up at least one thing from all of them. So I'll show you that stuff too. I think I spent most of the day working on listing, and I'm pretty sure I have drafts written up for about 30 items. So that's a lot for me to get done in one day. So I'm going to show you basically everything that's ready to list. So let's get right to that and do it right now. Okay, I'm going to do this stuff sort of in batches. So everything that you see here right in front of us was picked up yesterday at the thrift store. It's a small thrift store, like it's associated with a retirement community, and all the money that they make goes back to that community. I'm not exactly sure how it works, who gets the money and why or how and when or what they do with it. I don't really care that much about that. I'm just there trying to find cool stuff. So let's start looking through these things. Okay, this is Florida Seminoles, Florida University Seminoles, the college football team. It's like a visor. Look where there used to be a tag, so it's probably never really been worn. This I have seen there at that thrift store, and I just kind of passed it up. It's been, I don't know, I mean, I've probably seen it 10 times and I never really looked at it. Yesterday I just picked it up for some reason. It was $2. Everything with an orange tag was 50% off, so it was only $1. And I looked it up. I didn't find this exact hat with this style, this logo, and this style. OC Sports brand. I didn't find this exact one, but I found there's a lot of these visors listed, and most of them are selling between like $15 and $30. So I figured for $1, I'm gonna grab it. So I picked it up, brought it home, looked it up. I did find an exact copy of it, a comp that sold for $14.99, so I'm gonna list this one. I think I'll list it at $15.99 just to try to do $1 better than that other guy. So that was a pretty good buy. Okay, so next up is they had 2 of these racks like this with cassettes. They were all filled up, so it was 15 cassettes. They said $5 for each rack. This one, the other one mostly had like I don't know if you call them greatest hits packages, but they would be like a five cassette set of like hits of the 50s or whatever. So it didn't have anything that seemed promising to me, but I saw this Huey Lewis sports cassette in there, and I figured this one alone was going to be worth enough to buy the whole, to spend $5 on the whole thing. And they had them sort of grouped. So there's these 4 Huey Lewis and the News tapes. I looked this one up, sports, and there was one that sold for like $28 or something like that. When I got home, I realized it was brand new and sealed, so that's probably why it was able to sell for that amount. But since I'm lotting them together, there's going to be somebody who wants all 4 of these, And I think I'm gonna list these for like $24 just for the three of them. Then next up, there's three Garth Brooks albums here, three cassettes. These, I mean, Garth Brooks stuff was made in such high quantity that it's pretty tough to find something rare. So these aren't really worth a whole lot. I think I'll try to sell the three of them all together for like $14.50 or $15, something like that. There's two Chicago, the band Chicago tapes here, and then they had another one that was Peter Cetera. I don't know that much about Peter Cetera, but some part of my brain told me that he was a member of Chicago. So this morning I looked it up and that seemed to be right. So I'm lotting these three together. And again, not worth a ton, like 13 bucks probably for the three of them. But remember, I paid $5 for all of these. And then where these empty spots are, that's the four cassettes that were totally garbage. Like I'm not going to list them at all. So I think in the end, I'm like, this is probably like $1.50. I'm going to turn that into 25. Here's like $1.25 or $1.15 or something like that. That'll be $15. And then the same here. It's like $1.15. I just basically took the average, $5, and averaged it out and figured out how much each of these sets was worth. And then the last one here is this Dan Fogelberg Greatest Hits, which isn't a real big popular selling cassette these days, but it is brand new and sealed, so that seems pretty rare. I saw a few that sold of this album on cassette, but none that were totally sealed. Even still, I think those sold for like $5, $6, $8, something like that. I'm gonna try my best to get somebody to buy this for 12. So that's I don't think this rack is probably worth anything, but I might after I'm done listing these, look that thing up and see if it's some possibility that people want it. I don't know. I also got this there at that thrift store. This is a olive oil bottle. It has like a rubber spout kind of a thing for dispensing olive oil. I cleaned it up pretty good, but it looks like it's got a little bit of sticker residue. It had a big sticker on here that took a little bit of work to get it off, and it looks like I left some of the residue behind. So we'll clean that up before taking pictures. This is it's made in Italy. A company is called, Frantoio Miraglia. I'm not sure if the G is pronounced or if it's silent. Anyway, there's a lot of this exact looking bottle, but it has stripes instead of this dot that sell between like $20 and $30, maybe even as much as 40 or 50. I didn't find this one at all, so I'm just going to assume that it's going to be worth the same as those others. And I paid $3 for it. I'm going to list it for $22.99, I think. I got these two things for free. A CD. This is from 1985. The Highwaymen. Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson, the sort of outlaw country supergroup. There's some good songs on here, and I was thinking maybe I should just listen to this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to sell it. It's not worth very much, even though it is sealed. I mean, I thought this would be, that would be a big seller. I thought I'd probably get 25 for it, but it looks like $15, $14.99, maybe $13.99. And then this book, Ernest Hemingway, I never heard of this title. It's interesting to me that one of the most famous authors that has ever been, and I've never heard of this book at all. So it looks like it's an ex-library copy, and it is in rough shape. Like it's all taped together, and then at some point the library was just like, let's not bother fixing this anymore. It is published, it's got copyright 1927, which would mean first edition. But then if you roll back one page here, it says Charles Scribner's Sons, 1928. So this is the 1928 version of the 1927 book. So I don't know if it would be considered like a later pressing of a first edition. I'm not gonna advertise it as a first edition because I don't think it is. Also, it is in bad shape. So some of those ones that say 1927 on both pages I have sold for hundreds of dollars. Most of them are selling for like 28. The condition of this one, since I got it for free, I'm just gonna list it for 11 bucks and see if somebody will bite on that. And then the last thing I got yesterday is this. I'm not gonna be able to show it to you too much, but it's this very unusual shirt. It's a vintage structure shirt from the 90s, and it's like flannel, but it has a denim collar, and it's like more like a polo. The collar doesn't go all the way down. It's like a button up quarter button or something. And then it has these weird sleeve cuffs like a sweatshirt. So I don't know. It's an unusual shirt. I saw it and I thought it was unusual and I wanted to take a look at it. So I looked it up in the store. One exactly like this, exact same size, sold for $49.99. There's a lot that don't have this exact pattern, but similar patterns that are selling more like 30 to 40 to $5. You know, that one was the highest one, 50 bucks. So I'm gonna hedge my bets and put it kind of in the middle at 45.99 and see if I can get somebody to bite on that. I've only paid $3 for it. All clothing yesterday was half price. So long sleeve shirts there are all $6. I got this one for $3, and I think I'll get 45 for it. Okay, I'm going to take photos of all this stuff and clear this space out and then show you the next round. So hold on for 1 second. Okay, I got all of that stuff photographed and listed. It's all ready to buy right now. So, head over to the shop and buy some of that garbage. But let's look at this stuff, which came from last weekend's garage sales and from that church rummage sale. So they're going to be having another sale tomorrow. And they told me it was going to be huge discount day, so I'm definitely going to go to that because their prices are already shockingly low. So I got all of these My Little Ponies. There's 6 of these, normal sized ones. These are all from 2002. And I did a little work today searching up all of their little icons and figuring out their names and everything so I could put that in the listing. I got, the last time they had a sale there was, which was I think in June or July, they had a big bin full of these My Little Ponies. The same year too, 2002. So this probably was donated. This group was probably donated by the same person who donated those other ones. So those ones I sold in 2 different lots, and I think, I can't remember if there was like 60 ponies in that bin. There were some generic ones that just got thrown in the garbage. But I just asked them, how much would you want for the whole bin? And the lady was like, oh, I'm going to have to count all these and figure it all out. And I said, okay, yeah, you go ahead and count them. I'm going to go keep shopping. And then when I came out, she was like, I feel bad because I have to charge you kind of a lot for these. And I was like, well, how much is it? And she was like, $12. So I got all of these ponies for 12 bucks. This time I brought, it's the same sort of deal. Like some stuff there is priced, some stuff isn't. They had a bunch of small toys in one box, including all of these. I picked out all the ponies. I picked out these other ponies I'll show you in a second. And I picked out one Chewbacca that I listed last night or the day before. Original 1977 Kenner Chewbacca. And I had all of that stuff in a little pile in the bottom of my bag. And so I just brought the whole bag and she was sorting it out. And then she got to the pile of stuff at the bottom and she was like, oh, I'm going to have to charge you $2 for all of these. So all of this stuff, I think it's like 16. I think we're looking at 16 items here plus the Chewbacca. So 17 items for $2. And I think that comes out to like 11 or 12 cents, somewhere between 11 and 12 cents each. It's crazy, and she feels bad that she's charging me too much. So I always, in those situations, I always give them a little extra money. I think my whole purchase there might have been $15. Maybe it was even 12 when I was finished. And I just gave her a 20 and told her to keep it. So I'm still getting out ahead. And in some way, I still feel like I'm ripping them off. But anyway, these 6 ponies, let's see, I can't remember how much they're worth. According to my calculations, I paid, for these 6 ponies, I paid 72 cents for all of those. And it's 6 of them. And then I think I'm pricing them probably kind of low, maybe. It's hard to tell because people sell them in lots of like 60 or 100 or 25 or 30. And I didn't find that many lots of this size, 10 or 6 like I have. I think there was a lot of 12 and I just took the price that they had and then figured I'll just cut that in half. So I paid 72 cents for these and I'm going to list them for $32.99. The other ones I had sold super quickly, so I assume these will sell pretty fast too. Then these other ones, these really small My Little Pony, these are more modern. This is from the Friendship is Magic cartoon show. I can't figure out exactly what these are, but I think they're from like a mystery box, blind box thing where you buy it and you don't know what you're getting in it until you crack it open. There's 10 of those, so that's $1.10 if we're talking about 11 cents a piece. And I think these are going to sell for about $15. So after I left that church sale, I went and hit up a few other garage sales, and I think everything else that I bought that day is listed except for this stuff now. So we'll finish it up here with these lapel pins. It's going to be kind of hard to see these, but these are like a railroad crossing signs, and it says Operation Lifesaver on it. I think I might have put in the listing Lifesaver Operation, and now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it, it makes more sense that it would be called Operation Lifesaver. Anyway, the lady had these. She said 50 cents a piece, which is, I don't know what they are. All the other ones I have here are bowling. I'll show you those in a second. I don't know what they are, so I'm just guessing that they're going to be worth a little bit. These are not the same. I created a multi-quantity listing with these, with 3 of these, and now that I'm looking at them here closely, this one is slightly different than these 2, so I'm going to have to redo that listing. But in any event, these, she told me 50 cents a piece. I found 16 that I wanted, and so I was going to give her $8, and then she said, grab a couple more. So I think these might be the ones that I took, and when she said grab a couple of more. So I ended up paying like 44 cents a piece for these pins, which still, I mean, it's questionable whether you're going to be able to sell them for $1 or $2 or $20. You know, you don't know until you do the research. These 3 railroad ones, I think I found one example that sold for like $16. Most of the rest of them are selling for like 10 to 13. There's not that many sales, but I'm going to list these 3. I'm going to have to redo that listing now, and I'm going to list them at $13.99, I think. So 44 cents a piece, hopefully get 14 bucks for them. And then I have these all covered with tape because they're all kind of similar, and I wanted to make sure I put these numbers on each piece of tape so that I could reference that when I'm looking at the draft listing that I wrote to match up the right photos. Anyway, they're all vintage bowling pins. Like, I think these are like national championships. They're all over the country. Like this one says WIBC, which I guess is World International Bowling something conference, maybe. Salt Lake City, 1994. It looks like a seagull, which I don't know do they have seagulls in Salt Lake City? Probably. This one is probably worth a little bit more. It's got the Tasmanian Devil on it, 1996 Buffalo, WIBC. There's a couple of different bowling organizations. That one, maybe that is Women's International Bowling something. Chicago WBA, Women's Bowling Association, I'm pretty sure, 1993 to 1994. So there's a bunch of these. They're all bowling. I thought, you know, at least they're going to have some kind of kitsch value to somebody, vintage bowling. This one says USBC, so United States Bowling something. It looks like Chicago. Oh yeah, it says Chicagoland right on it. So there's a bunch of these. What would there be? 12 or 15? Women's Championship Detroit 2008, so that's getting more recent. Most of them are in the 90s. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of these. They're all slightly different, kind of similar, but kind of different. And I just decided, I looked up a couple. Some sell for like $25, some sell for like $5, some sell for $19, some sell for $8. I just decided I'm going to go right in the middle. I paid 44 cents a piece for these. I'm going to pick an average of the recent sale prices, and then I just put them all at $10.99. So will they sell quickly? Probably not, but they're not going to take up much space, and when they do sell, they're going to be very easy to ship. So this is my next round of photographs. I think I'm going to save these and these for tomorrow because I'm going to have to do some work on those. So I'm going to take photos of these ponies, get them listed, and then I'll come back and show you the next round of acquisitions. All right, here's the final round. This is all stuff that I picked up this morning, all at garage sales. This is like, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 sales that were all basically on the same block. So I got some pretty decent stuff here, I think. So the first sale I went to, there was this box with all of these, looks like car key fobs. The guy was like, oh, I did the best I could to write down, you know, what cars they go to, and he wrote like model numbers on all these and everything. And I was like, oh, this is going to be expensive. He's got all the manuals for stuff. Like this is going to be expensive. And so I said, well, how much do you want for this whole box? And he said, how about $1? And then he picked up with these manuals. He's like, yeah, that goes with it. So that's $1 too. So I got all of these for $1. The first ones I looked at, there's like 2 of these, OEM GM 1999. I think those 2 alone are like 40. Like one of these sells for like $25, so I'm going to list these 2 just by themselves for 45 or 50. I basically have 3 lots here. There's a it's kind of a mishmash, and I don't know exactly what I've got, but it's like $43 for those, 15 for one of these, and then this is a Toyota one. This one might be its own price. I'm not sure. But most of them were these, there's like 2 key fobs for a security system, Viper security system. And then all of these extra cases, if you want to change the color, maybe you want to give one to your daughter or your boyfriend or whatever, you have different colors so you know whose is whose. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's hard to know what's what, you know, as far as value. So I'm just shooting for like $50 for all of this stuff, then 40 for the single, 43 for the double fobs, 15 for one that's by itself. There might be another one that's 15. We're looking at like $108 at least, maybe like 130 if I add it all up properly. But in any event, the guy was just like, $1, I'll take $1. And he had some fishing reels there. And I asked him, how much do you want for those? And he said $5. And I was like, let me go down the street and look at these other sales, and then I'll come back and I'll have made up my mind. And that gave me a chance to look up those fishing reels and find out they're not really worth anything. But when I came back, I noticed these 2 baseball gloves there, and I asked him about these, and he said $1. I think he had 4 gloves, and the other 2 were like small vinyl kids gloves, and these were like real leather, you know, grown-up size gloves. So for $1, I didn't even look them up. I just took the chance. He was telling me, you know, they need to be oiled and conditioned, and he's right. Like this one especially is real crusty. I'm afraid to even try to open it. So it does have, now under this light I can see where somebody had their name on this one. This one also, they had their name on it. This one has their phone number written on it, which is wild. And anyway, I think that I'm trying to decide if I want to take the time to try to condition these and get them. I mean, they would sell for a lot more if they were nice, soft, broken in mitts, but I don't think I really want to do that. The last time I did it with some gloves, I just used WD-40, and I don't think I want to do that again. But this one, this Wilson one, I see some examples of it that are very similar anyway. That's sold for like $75 and $80. But I don't feel like I want to do that conditioning, and it does have some writing on it. So I think I'm going to try to get 33 for this one. Same with this. I see like one of these sold for like 40, 55, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But this one has a lot of writing on it, much more intense writing. Must have been, they're both softball gloves, I guess. So this one I'm probably going to try to get like $22 for. I only paid $1 a piece, so if I can only get 20 for each of them, if I get 15 for each of them, I'm doing fine. But I would like to get as much as possible. I just don't think I want to spend the time trying to condition them. I don't want to buy the proper materials, and I don't want to do it wrong and mess it up for the person who wants to buy it. So I'm going to sell those as is for $33 and $22, and I paid $2 total. So the next sale I went to, I got this Arrow stapler. I can't remember what it's called. It had some kind of a name for it, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it's a nice old stapler. It's not worth that much, but I only paid $1 for it. I think I can sell it for 15 to 20. I might just put it at 13 and just try to be the first one on the list to sell it. At that same sale, I got this. It's AEW long sleeve t-shirt, all extreme wrestling. It has a, I don't know how long AEW's been around, but it has like an older Gildan tag on it. So this, I don't know if this would be considered vintage, but it's definitely older. You know, newer ones would have the printing of the tag right inside the fabric and then back of the neck. This one is John Moxley, I guess, M-O-X. I can't find anything like this that's sold. There's one normal t-shirt that's currently listed, and I think they have it, depending on size, it's like $43 to $45. I paid $3 for this. I think I could probably list it for 45 and get that for it, but right now I'm gonna just list it at like 35. I see there's some, I don't know if these are stains or not, but this shirt is definitely gonna go in the wash before it gets listed. The same with these. There's two shirts here. These are Amazon Fresh staff shirts. They're also long sleeve shirts, which is a little bit rarer and hopefully will make them a little more valuable. I got two of them. She told me $2 a piece, and I wrinkled my nose or whatever. And so she said, I'll give them to you both for $3. So I paid $1.50 a piece for these. I heard recently, just a couple of days ago, that they're going to be shutting down all Amazon Fresh stores, which is, it's a shame. Like, I don't really love supporting Amazon shopping there, but it's so much easier for me to get in and out of there so fast without having to wait in the checkout lines at the other stores, and having, like, sometimes I get claustrophobic in the grocery store where there's a family in front of me and they're like blocking the whole aisle or whatever. So this Amazon store, I really enjoy shopping there. I don't know if there's any real value in these. Some of these have sold for like 15, like just normal t-shirts have sold for like $13 to $15, $10 to $15 maybe. This one, I think I'm going to list these at 16 each, and hopefully this is going to become a collector's item if the stores go out of business. All right, I just pulled a bunch of hot roller sets out of my death pile closet, and I was saying, like, they seem to have lost their charm and maybe they're not worth listing anymore, but one of them I listed that came out of the closet and it sold the same day. So I decided to buy this today because it's still in the box. It looks like it's never been used, but it does have some cracks in the corner. I don't think you can probably see it on the camera, but it is cracked there, so it's a shame. You know, this would have been a nice thing. I think it would be. There's the clips that are in there in a bag. They're inside the box. They're in a bag that has never been opened. So my assumption is that nobody ever used this. I hope that's the case. I'm going to sell it as used anyway, and I think I can get about $30 for it. I only paid $3. This came from the same garage sale as the Amazon shirts, and that lady really wanted to sell stuff, but she didn't want to lower her prices, I guess. I didn't see anything else there I wanted, but there were some other things I was looking at, just in passing, and she was like, that's a good jacket for your daughter. You should buy that for your daughter. It's like, well, I don't have a daughter. Anyway, then at one last sale, I found these. These are brand new in the box. Merrell's. This is a Moab 3, I think is the model number. These are size 12.5. I wish they were a little bit smaller, like 10.5 or 11. I think that's the key size to be looking for if you want to sell shoes quickly. I asked the guy how much. Well, it's funny because the one sale, everything I asked the guy, how much you want for this? It's $1. It's $1. Everything's $1. And then I go to this one, and the first thing I pick up is these shoes and say, how much you want for these? And he says $30. And then I pick up a shirt and I say, how much is this shirt? He says $5. Like, nobody charges $5 for a shirt at a garage sale, just a normal button-down shirt. But anyway, I left these behind, and then I walked down the street to the other sales. And when I was walking back to the car, I said, would you take 25 for those? And he said yes. So I don't know if it was a good buy or not. These shoes aren't, there's not a ton of these listed or sold, especially not in new condition. So there's one other person that has a pair exactly like this, same size and everything, and they have them listed for 120 or something like that. So I listed these. I'm going to list these for 100 even. Hopefully they'll sell quickly, but I don't know. Is 12.5 an unusual size? Is that out of the range of normal? I don't know. But that's everything that I picked up today, and all of this stuff just needs to get photos, and it'll be listed tomorrow or the day after. Not too bad. I did quickly look up this cassette case. It's made by a company called the Dynasound Organizer, made in Wisconsin. They do have some things that have sold, but not this kind of a just individual tray. So this won't get listed. This will just go probably in the garbage unless I can figure out another use for it. Okay, right now I'm going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to get ready and pull all the orders that came in today and get them listed. And it's getting late. I think it's almost, it might be 11 or past 11. So I need to get this done quickly and get to bed. So let's go to the kitchen and finish up tonight's work. All right, I pulled everything out and I think we're all ready to go. So let's start with this strobe light. It's just a standard old Radio Shack strobe light. It has a couple of colored gels in there so you can change the flashing color. Those are real sort of like late 70s, 80s. This is probably from the 90s, I would guess, by the design of the box. Maybe late 90s, really. Anyway, what did I pay for this? I got this for $3 at where? At a garage sale. I don't really remember. Oh, no, you know what? I do remember buying it. This was at a sale, a strange sale where she had everything laid out on a trampoline in her backyard and nothing had prices. And then when I asked, how much do you want for this? She said, I'll take anything, any price you offer me, I will say yes to. So I can't remember everything that I got there, but I don't know. I don't like being put in that situation where, I mean, the answer is I don't want to pay you much at all, but I don't want to be a cheapskate either. So I don't remember what I bought there, and I don't remember what I gave her, but according to my notes, I paid $3 for this. It wasn't even that long ago, really. The beginning of August, and it's just the beginning of October now. So this has been sitting here for 2 months. I'm going to try to make a box that fits here by combining this one and then making a little cap for it with this one, and then I'll save the other part of this box for a future project. I'm sure it'll come in handy sometime. So let's go. Be careful with your knife, be as careful as you can be. Put this over here and I'll know it's there when I need it in the future. So this thing, I'm gonna put some tape on here and these corners to pull them in so I can fit a cap over the top of them. Should be easy enough. It looks like this box is gonna be just pretty much exactly right, if not even just like a slight bit too big. But I'm gonna just jam it full of paper. These roll of paper, even though I bought it from the same company, it basically just said reorder, reorder something that I bought in the past. Feels different. It has a different weight, I think, to it. It feels heavier than the other kind I'm used to using. I don't know if I prefer that. I don't think so. The other kind I had was like standard newsprint. Felt like just like newsprint. And this feels a little bit heavier. I don't think it probably affects too much, but it might be a shorter length because it's thicker. I don't really know. I'm sure they sell it by the length. And now that I'm thinking about it, these rolls do feel a little bit girthier than the last ones I had. So probably is the same length of paper, just in a thicker roll and a thicker paper. Okay, I'll need a little more in there, but I'm going to make this cap now. Oh boy, it doesn't want to bend. There we go. Okay, I need one more gob of paper here. And so yeah, this I had listed, I got it for $3. I had it listed, I think, for 30 or 32. Probably $32.99, and somebody sent an offer today, $27. It's like slightly lower than I felt good about, but I'd rather have it gone and sold for $27 than just keep sitting here for 33 or whatever I was asking for it. I know I was sort of on the fence whether I was going to accept the offer, and then I was just like, what do I care? Just get rid of this thing. $27 is $27. So we'll make whatever, $17, $18 on this. Stick around to the end, I'll give you exact numbers. I often do this sort of guessing game. How much am I actually gonna make? See how close I can get. I'm learning all the time, these numbers. I hear a lot of people talking about how eBay fees are too high, and it just means they're not thinking about those fees when they're deciding on the stuff they're gonna sell. So I'm always thinking, like, if I buy this for $20, how much am I actually gonna make? If I sell it for 20 and I bought it for 5, how much am I actually going to make on it, and is that going to be worth it? So in this case, it's going to be worth it, but could be worth a little bit more. All right, I think I'll put one long stripe going this way. Keep this cap from falling off. Now, marker, strobe. I need to move this computer and get this on the scale. 3 pounds 12, so 4 pounds. This is 11 by 11. by 9, I guess. 11, 9, and let's see, who's it going to? It's going to DW in Indiana. All right, get out of the way, DW. Coming up next is gonna be, we might as well just do whatever's right in front of me. These are some parts for the ice maker. I talked about this before, but my ice maker broke, and rather than just throw it in the garbage, I took some parts out of it and listed them. And this, I think, is the third piece of it that sold, maybe the second. And I'm not selling these for much. I think this is $9.99 for whatever this thing is. When it came up, when the sale came up, I was 100% sure that I sold this before and that there was some sort of a glitch, but I was wrong. It's still here, and then it's not going to be here for long. So hopefully the rest of that ice maker stuff will sell soon. All right, ice, 10 by 7 by 3. It's going to be very light, 6 ounces. It will be going to J.O. in M.O., Missouri. Next, this is a Harley Davidson hat. Where did I get this? I got this at the Goodwill, and man, this doesn't, I have no recollection. It's a good thing I keep these notes because I would not know anything if I didn't have them. I got this at the Goodwill in August of 2024, so like 14 months ago, 15 months ago. It's been sitting for a long time. I thought Harley Davidson stuff always sold quickly, but this one didn't, and not really for a huge profit either. I paid $4.40 for it, and it sold today for $14.99 plus shipping. So in this case, we're gonna make, let's see, $14.99 minus the $4 I spent. That's like 11. Then eBay fees, it's gonna be $8 profit on this hat, I think. So it's not great. It's not like a terrible sales day today, but none of this stuff is high value. I got 6 orders, and it's all, I don't think there's anything that's over $20. Oh, the strobe light was $27. So a bunch of stuff sold, and it's all, you know, low value stuff. Now we're right, hat on here, 7 ounces, 10 by 7 by 3. It's going to KS, Kansas, to JB. All right, next. What's next? This is a double, this is 2 seasons of Boston Legal, the TV show. What year was that? I don't remember that. I enjoyed that show. I found this at the Salvation Army. I remember that, and I thought it was going to sell for more than $19.99, but I think I just recently, in an inventory audit, I decided to end and relist this and drop the price down. I think I had it around $30, and now I dropped it down to $19.99. So another cheapish item. I paid $3.74 for it. Is this gonna fit in here even? Let's make sure. Fine. Put a little more paper. So 2 seasons of television for $20. Somebody's getting a pretty good deal, I think. Oh, how do I want to do this? Okay, Boston DVD, 2 pounds 3. This box is 13 by 11 by 3. And who's it going to? DG. Did I have a DG earlier? No. JOJBDW. DG and Ohio. So just getting around to watching Boston Legal in Ohio. All right, what's next? I have a box right here that's not really the best box for this, but I don't have a better one. So this is a Bruce Springsteen live 5 LP set. I've had this for a really long time, and I was just looking at it on the shelf a couple of days ago thinking, enough's enough, that thing's gotta get delisted and thrown in the garbage or put in the garage sale pile or whatever. And then today it sold for 20 bucks. It's not a huge profit, but I only paid $1 for this 5 LP set. It's a nice set if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan. 1986, and I'm about to put it in this pizza box. I don't have any official record boxes. For whatever reason, those boxes are way more expensive than they should be. So I'm gonna try my best here to cram this paper around the edges so it's not sliding all around. But I'm not confident in this shipping scenario. I usually use these pizza boxes for drum heads, which are, they're made to be hit with sticks, so they're basically indestructible. You know, the shipping isn't going to harm them, but the records, who knows? So, okay, we got a big mess here. I'm going to do my best to pull this lid down, squash everything in. Okay, this side is clear. This side is clear, now just the front. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So surprisingly good. I've put together a lot of these pizza boxes and shipped out a lot of drum heads in the last year and a half or 2 years or whatever. And they're always sort of a pain to do these pizza boxes. I don't like these tags, these tabs here sticking out, making my tape weird, so I cut them off usually. And then put a long piece this way, pull it tight, pull it as tight as I can. Do this front the same way. That's too long. Same thing, and then one more side. Okay, I was just about to write pizza on here, but it's Bruce. Bruce weighs a lot, probably 3 pounds 1. That's too bad. This box is 17 by 17 by 2. I haven't had any trouble with these pizza boxes, and I kind of expected they would be problematic somehow, but they've been great. There's all these little scraps go in the garbage. Okay, 17 by 17 by 2, and we're shipping this to JL in New York. All right, one last item. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 items. I got to get a box for this one, and I'll be right back. I think these will fit in here. I hope they will. Let's get it closed up. Oh, it's not working. So many of these boxes are they just need to get somebody in the quality control department at these box factories. They don't fold up right, or they're not glued right or something. Okay. What I have here next is 3, I guess these are tumblers. They're made by Aladdin. They say Disney's Caribbean Beach. Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. I don't know if they have a date. I don't see a date. Let's see, did I put a date in here? I had, in my notes, it says I got these at a estate sale for free, and I don't really remember that, but I think I got these at I remember being at an estate sale where they had a bunch of Disney stuff, and they had like sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff, and I think they were all this Caribbean Beach. I don't know. This is all the way back in May 2024, so forgive me if I can't remember stuff that happened that long ago, a year and 5 months ago. But I've had them listed for that amount of time. I got them for free. I had them at $20, $19.99, and somebody's just a few days ago, somebody sent me an offer for 10, and I counter offered that at 16. So most of the time, if I have something for 20, the lowest I'm going to go is 16 on it. So somebody sent me that $10 offer. I countered at 16, and they rejected it and moved on. And then this offer came today for 12, and I did the same thing, countered at 16, and they bought it right away. So I guess that was a good price for them. It's not the greatest price for me, but I'll take $16 for something that I got for free. And I'm gonna get them in this box. Yeah, yes I will. I wasn't sure if they were gonna fit in here. Looks like they will, looks fine. Get a little more paper in here and be done. This one, good. This is a good feeling solid box with those things in there like that. Cups. I haven't had much luck with Disney stuff, honestly. You know, I still look at it all the time because it seems like something that people want, but especially like I usually just look at the stuff like directly from the parks, the theme parks or the resorts or whatever. And most of the time it's not quick sellers. 1 pound 8. This is 11.97 and going to RP in Ohio. So is that 2 Ohios? Yeah, 2 Ohios. Okay, I'm gonna buy labels for these. I'll come back and tell you exactly how much money we made on each of these items. So stick around. All right, all of those packages are ready to go. What was it? How many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packages. I've requested a pickup from my porch tomorrow, so those will go away in the morning. All right, let's go over how much each of these items earned. And it's unfortunately, I mean, this is not a terrible day, but I'm shooting for $193 profit every day for the rest of the year in order to reach my goal. I didn't get anywhere near that today. So let's go through these one at a time. The Boston Legal Complete Season 1 and 2 DVD sets, that sold for $12.26. That's how much profit I made off of that. So that was a $20 item, sold for $19.99. I paid $3.74 for it. I charged $6.97 for shipping, and the actual shipping was $5.97. And the eBay fees were $4.38, and unfortunately I had a 61-cent promotional fee on there, so that subtracted that extra 61 cents. I am going through all of my listings a little at a time and removing all those promotional fees because they don't seem to be helping me sell anything, and I'm just giving money to eBay for no real benefit. Anyway, $12.26 for those DVDs. The next thing that's up is the 3 Disney Caribbean Beach Resort travel mugs. Those earned $13.73. The Radio Shack strobe light earned $20.83, which is I think I was estimating I would get 16. Is that what I said? So that's better than what I thought. The Bruce Springsteen 5-disc LP set was $17.19. That Harley Davidson hat, $9.87. I think I said 8 on there, so I'm doing a little better than I expected. And then finally, the spring paddle for the ice maker earned $10.15. So the total for today, and it's already almost midnight, so the chances, we've got 2 more hours for more sales to come in. It's not a great chance that we're gonna get any after-hour sales. So the total for today is about $84. Yesterday, this is only the 3rd day of October. Yesterday, our average profit each day of the month for the first 2 days was $194.68. Because of this day, $84, it dropped down to $157.79. So I need to have some big high profit days scattered out throughout this month to make up for this $84 day. And hopefully we don't have any days that are lower than that, which, I mean, it's really possible. Some days you get 1 or 2 sales and you only make $30. But I need 157 to grow up to 193 for, like, by the time we get to the end of the month, we got to be as close to 193 as possible if we have any hope of reaching my goal. My goal for profit of the year is $50,000. And where we are now means we basically need to be making $200 a day for the rest of the month, which I don't think is likely. I don't usually get numbers like that. It's usually, I think, average like 130 to 150 per day. I need it to be around 200. We're in the 4th quarter now. Hopefully these numbers will start creeping up as we get closer to Christmas. So anyway, I'm not upset. $84 is still a decent amount of money for me to make by selling a bunch of junk that I just need to get out of my house. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.